And we're live. Welcome, everybody. I see DWR Exotics, Bosa, and Angelica. Thank you all for joining. Oh, no, that's my wife. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. We got some great fucking topics today.
BPL,
And, yeah.
I'm gonna interrupt you. Never call your wife her first name, bro. That's a good way to sleep on the couch, bro. Never call your wife her first
I
name.
always call her by the first name.
Never, don't do that, bro. Call her babe, boo, honey, sexy, my honey dip, my snack. Don't. If I call my wife her first name, it's getting me on the couch. So you gotta
Morbid, what's up?
that little bit of affection. You gotta be like, hey, I see you in the chat, boo. Do it right quick. Do it. Say,
All right, I
hey,
see you in chat, boo.
I see you in the
There.
chat, boo.
Chucky,
There you
what's
go.
up?
There you
There we
go.
go. But we got some good topics tonight, really. Like some that are going to be very interesting to talk about. Heads and tails. What's up? How you doing?
Welcome to the podcast where we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. Shout out to Brian over at Samson Snakeatorium or whatever that channel's called. Shout out to Brian, man. I love saying that. The good, the bad, the ugly. We talking about everything. Don't matter if it's good, positive, negative. We want to talk about it, man. So what's new with you, BPL, man?
New schedule, so 9 to 6 now, and then Monday through on Fridays I'm 8 to 5.
Man, I caught you earlier. What was you driving? A forklift?
Correct.
Don't you gotta have a license for that, BPL? You got a forklift license?
I do. I'm actually I was a forklift operator, trainer, and safety manager for the previous company. About to take that over here at the new one.
Look at BPL, man, being a grown up. Fuck that. I ain't driving a forklift. I'm lazy, man. Well, let's jump right into the show, man, and talk about some topics, man. That's what we are here for, man. So the first topic, man, would you ever be caught dead in a PetSmart or a Petco? And if so, why?
Depends. Yes, if I need new water dishes. Now a lot of them I've been changing out because I have the plastic ones, but I've been going with like bigger bin plastic ones lately, so it holds more water. Um, but there's
Shame on
nothing
you.
I really do.
Shame on you, BPL. Shame on you. I knew you
I
was
mean,
a Petco. You look like somebody else. You look like a pet smarter.
No, I do. I sell electrical supplies. Well, I'm in the warehouse. I'm not really selling shit. I'm just getting shit ready. But I mean, especially for the rats, like the water fucking things for the rats, like they sometimes break those because I buy the glass ones. They're broken on me, so I switched to the plastic ones. Especially adding new like, what's up, cold blooded? How you doing? Especially adding like new populations of my rats, like getting new fucking bins going and all that. Like,
Now,
yeah. I
even
mean,
even even with the stigma of Petco, everybody hates Petco. Everybody hates PetSmart. You're not embarrassed to tell people you go there?
no, dude, they sell Zilla, and we all support them, don't we?
No, I don't like Zilla.
Well, I mean, to each his own, right?
Shout out to Venom-proof cages, the best cages on the market. Fuck Zilla.
I, yes, I would have to say that.
I don't know, man. I go to PetSmart, man. I don't tell people that though, man. I'm a anti PetSmart, but I go sometimes. It just kind of depends, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all going to PetSmart? Y'all going to Petco, or are y'all going to the moms and pops reptile stores? Where y'all going to? I'm curious.
I got only one mom and pop reptile store here.
You don't drive to it?
Sometimes I don't even go to PetSmart or Petco. I get all my stuff like Tractor Supply, bro.
So you're not even going to the pet store. You're going to the Tractor Supply. And you could be supporting the small moms and pops reptile store. Shame on you, BPO.
Well, yes, shame on me. There you go. They're closed when I get off of work, especially because they close at 5 and I'm off at 6. I'm like, okay, can't go there.
Shout out to Bosa, man. You see that? Moms and pops. That's where I'm going. I got one. It's like 20 minutes from me. It's called Pet Stop. I love it, man. They have so many amazing animals, man. I love it, man. Now let's jump into another topic, man. I want you to show that thing about Georgia.
Ooh, let's do it. Let me bring it up.
And you give me your take on this, man. Now, I don't know if people in the reptile, no, not that. I said Georgia. Oh. You got to be on it, man.
That was the Georgia one. That was the last one you sent me.
No, that's not about Georgia. You show something else. Show it. It says Georgia. There you go. That's the one about Georgia. Georgia restricts the ownership of pythons, tegus, and other reptiles. Now this is a big hit, and I think ain't is Venom Proof Wonderful down there, or is he in Florida?
No, he's in Georgia.
He's in Georgia, and he has all that shit. Now he has to. Now since they passed this ban, he has to be grandfathered in. But after he's grandfathered in with his tegu and his pythons and his reptiles, a lot of that shit you can't have in Georgia no more. And this is a major hit. Like, how does that feel about you to see this state take such a big hit?
It's wrong, in my personal opinion. I'm going to take it down now, but
no, leave that up. Leave that up. Leave it up. Leave it up. Leave it up.
Leave it up. Gotcha. But no, it's wrong. Like, honestly, like, you shouldn't be able to tell people what they can and cannot have. Like, once again, it comes with a stipulation. I believe, in my own personal opinion, there is some shit you shouldn't have. But at the same time, when it comes to animal-wise, no, as long as they're treating the animal right, giving it the proper health and diet it needs, and taking, like, everything, I see no problem with having one, no matter what state you live in. And that's just my personal opinion, because honestly, when it comes down to it, you're telling people these animals will either harm or kill you. In reality, there's tegus that are puppy dog trained. They're like a puppy, and they don't do anything negative to people. It is really retarded for the state to ban something like that, in my personal opinion.
Yep, they banned them. They banned all that shit. It's like a list of shit that, because I think, shout out to Jeremy from Brassman Reptiles. He was on Instagram talking about it, that Georgia just took a major hit. And it goes to show that, you know, I think that this shit will go state to state. I love what USARK is doing, but this right here hits on the point that I was making on the last show. And I'm going to ask you a question when to talk about this. This shit is going to go state to state. Okay. I love what USARK is doing. We need to support them. But at the end of the day, I'm going to leave you with this question. Do you think there's something that me or you can say to stop lawmakers from banning what they want to ban?
Yeah, if we all, okay, so I want to bring up something, and here's why. And we talked about it last week, and you told me to go and watch this thing. It was the Ball Python movie. So yeah, part of me says yes. If we all unite together, regardless,
what do we say?
Regardless if you are like, I'm not going to support live feeders or frozen thawed, get the fuck over that point. Okay, straight up, get the fuck over that point. What we need to do is come together as reptile owners and breeders and be like, no, we could show you positivity, even doing live feedings. There's nothing wrong with that. They have to fucking eat, okay? And honestly, if we all band together and wrote
BPL, I hate to interrupt you, but you didn't answer my question.
I'm getting to the answer.
What do you say?
We all have to unite, and honestly, it can't just be one person going to it. It has to be all of us doing it. You see what I'm saying? Like, if only a few people write their congressman or whoever a letter, your senator, being like, this is wrong. Like, but if we all do it for multiple states, sending the same senators, same shit, dude, they have to fucking eventually stop. Like, there's positivities, and reptiles get a negative vibe, right? A lot of people, they're like, oh, you have a snake? That's weird. Really?
But see, you don't think Georgia, you don't think that whole state banded together, not the state, you don't think that whole reptile community came together and said, please don't do this, and they did it anyway?
I don't think enough people came forward. That's what I think.
Yeah, you could be right now, but see, you still haven't articulated. I want you specifically. Let's play a game. Let's act like I'm the lawmaker. I'm talking about you specifically. What would you say to me as a lawmaker to get me to say, okay, maybe we don't need to ban reptiles?
Okay, so you're the lawmaker.
Maybe we don't need to ban. Yeah, what would you get to say? Maybe we don't need to make. You know what, BPO, you're right. I want you to sway me. I'm fuck reptiles. I'm the lawmaker. I'm the law. Fuck tegus. Now you got to sway me. What do you say to sway me to say, you know what, BPL, you're right. We We need tegus in these neighborhoods.
So honestly, I would bring one if I had one. Right? I would bring one to the congressman that was, of course, not just. We're gonna get into a whole nother story here in a minute. I know that because of some shit, but like, bring your animals and show them. Like, okay, here's another thing that all reptile breeders and keepers should do. Even if you're not breeding, you're just a keeper, or if you are a breeder and all that. Like, all of us, and I'm about to start doing this. Start going to schools, elementary schools. Start showing these animals aren't as bad as people fucking say they are. Show them that they're like every other thing. Can they bite? Yeah, but your dog can bite too. Your cat can scratch you. Your cat can bite you. Can your snake bite you? Yeah. But at the same time, a human could fucking bite me because he's all cracked out or some shit. I don't know. Like, like, the negativity that reptiles get is so sad, especially that we honestly argue amongst ourselves in the reptile hobby. It is pathetic. You shouldn't be doing live feedings. You should mind your own business and actually support the damn hobby. That's how we should do it.
Okay, that's a great argument, BPL. But it's just I think I'm on the other side of the fence. I think that, and don't take what I'm saying literal, because like I said, this is
Oh
live.
shit! What's up, Heather?
This is live. Shout out to Cold Blooded Monstars. Yes, Venom does live in Georgia. He's about to get hit with some heavy sanctions. Don't get me wrong, you could be grandfathered in, but they coming down on Georgia.
Oh
hard.
shit, Venom's here. What's up, Venom? We're talking about you.
They're coming down on Georgia hard, so he's gonna be able to be grandfathered in. There's a lot of shit that he's not gonna be able to keep coming up within the next year or 2 years. But my question to you is, if somebody was to ask me, what would you say to a lawmaker to help us keep the animals? My honest answer is I don't know, because I don't know what I could tell this lawmaker that I feel like is going to sway him enough to be like, to let me keep my animals. I don't think there is something you could say. I think that the lawmakers have their mind up. Georgia is a prime example. I disagree with you. I think a lot of I think reptile people came. I think they showed up, and I think the lawmakers just didn't give a fuck.
Well, here's the thing. Once again, I think people showed up to fight it. Yeah. But not everybody in the state of Georgia showed up that owned reptiles.
Yeah, I think my thing is I think that, and this is for every state. I think that these lawmakers have already got their minds made up. They're gonna ban what they want to ban. Don't get me wrong, they're gonna give you a platform. They're gonna give you like 5-10 minutes to come up and talk. But I think they have their minds made up. And I think that's why I touched on this subject last podcast. It's like, I love what USARK is doing. We need to support them. But it's just like, at what point do you say, fuck the law? I'm going to keep what I want. Catch me if you can. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I'm with you on that. Like, yeah, support USARK. But at the same time, even if they...
I can't hear you no more. I don't know. It's a touchy subject. What's going on down there in Florida, Venom, man? What's going on, man? Have you been?
1 second. Give me 1 second.
BPL then left the podcast. What's going on down there in Florida, Venom, man? Georgia is scared. Yes, it is insane what's going on down there, Venom. I feel for you, but it is, for me, I think that this shit is going to hit every state. I think every state is ultimately going to do it. And I think, at the end of the day, it's just, what I advise you to do is make yourself a Noah's Ark. Okay. And what do I mean? Get you two of every animal you want. Breed what you want and shut the fuck up about it. Fuck the law, keep what you want. Because at the end of the day, these lawmakers are going to, BPL's like, well, I think we could talk and say something to sway these lawmakers. I'm on the other side. I don't think you can. I think that these lawmakers have their mind made up. They're going to ban what they want to ban. And what's up? I can't hear you, bro. Now I can. Now I can. Yeah, but I can't hear you. Real talk. D-Man is like, real talk. Yeah, at the end of the day, that's what I would recommend to anybody, because, we have these organizations and they fighting for us. Yes, but we're losing. We are ultimately losing this fight. And the thing that I tell people is don't have that fear. Fuck that fear. Let that
I'm back.
what I was telling them is, let that fear factor go. I hate when we push the fear factor, like, oh, I'm gonna lose everything. You ain't losing shit unless you give it up. I'm not giving up shit. I
No,
and I
I'm
was
not.
I was telling them BPL that what I recommend is, the Noah's Ark. Right now when I see all these states getting hit hard, right now get to everything you want. You be true of everything you want and start breathing and keeping what you want and saying, catch me if you can. Because at the end of the day, Georgia is a prime example. You used to keep whatever you want in Georgia. And now I look up, they didn't ban a whole bunch of shit. And Venom said that they scared down there. And it's going to turn into, the next Florida. And it's just crazy what, leads us into the next, that leads us into the next topic. Take that one down. Do you think big snakes are bad for the hobby, BPO? And
No, 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 no.
all right, Linda. Before we start, let's show this article. I want y'all to see this. This was shown on Instagram. The real Tarzan showed a reticulated python that was cut open, and it had somebody's grandma in it, and this shit is crazy. Show the with the words.
I believe I had to cut it out because, like I said, it was too long.
I
But
send it to you again.
this one.
Missing grandma's body found in a 22-foot long python that swallowed whole. This python swallowed somebody's grandma. So my question is, when lawmakers see these articles and we're wanting to fight them, do you think big snakes are bad for the hobby?
No. Okay, first off, I want to make an argument with you right here.
Take that down.
That was all right. Let me take it down. Hold on. I want to make an argument though. Okay, and here's why.
We're not arguing.
That no, but like a disagreement on why I don't think they should be banned, and here's why.
I never said they're banned. I said, do you think they're bad for the hobby?
Okay, bad for the hobby? No, and here's why. Because that first off, that's not captive bred. Okay, that was in the wild, bro. That snake was not. It was hungry. Like, and I understand they got to eat, but at the same time, it was wild. We were talking about this last night. Look at Jay Prehistoric. I love the dude. He has an awesome fucking channel, but at the same time, he gets bit here and there. Like, shit happens, especially when he's taking the eggs. I get it, but no, I don't think they're bad for the hobby. The retics, Burmese, rock pythons, a little bit smaller would be like carpet python. Like, dude, those are great for the hobby because a lot of them are really well, like, especially captive bred, are really great for the hobby. Like, people want to have that big snake and be like, this thing's awesome. Like, not knocking ball pythons because I got them, but like, it's different.
See, I'm on the fence. So my thing when it comes to the bigger snakes is, we're already fighting these laws. Snakes are, they have such a what's the word I'm looking for? Snakes are frowned upon, right? When you tell somebody you got a snake, what's the first thing they think of? They think of the movie Anaconda, right? They think of Anaconda, they think of big ass snakes. So I think that the big snakes, they hurt us. I think they hurt us because they carry such a, the public looks at us, and when they see Jay Brewer, or that's why he's so big, because he has those big snakes. But when they see these big snakes, the public is scared of them. They're scared of them. So
Yeah,
I think, in essence, they do hurt us. I'm not saying that we shouldn't keep them, but I think that if we are going to begin to fight some of these laws, we have to kind of, I don't know about police ourselves, but some of the stuff that I do believe that it's certain shit that we shouldn't keep. It just is. We have to police ourselves because, like I said, the people that don't have snakes, they watch us, and when they see us pull those 20-foot snakes out, those 22-foot snakes out, they're scared. You know what I mean? And it's. I don't think we'll ever be able to fight what these lawmakers are doing when you see an article, this snake just ate a person, or a cobra's loose. There's so much shit that's going on. Like when do we police ourselves? You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying, but I still disagree, bro. Like
I
I
think
really
that
believe.
I think that, and I don't mean to interrupt. I think that we should keep them, but I think it. I'm not gonna lie. I think that they do hurt us because, like I said, the public is scared of
The majority of the public that wants nothing to do with reptiles are scared of them. Yes, but when I even at Anaheim, Vallejo, Winnemucca, there is Burmese and reticulated pythons being held by people, and there's hundreds of people walking by these snakes. They're not striking. They're on a well-fed mill on a constant feeding schedule, and honestly, that was wild. And now you can't say that to the captive bred
them.
ones.
But how
And
do you
with
explain
Jay
that to the
Brewer,
public? How do you explain this to the public? They don't know the difference between wild and captive bred. They don't know what the fuck we talking about. How do you explain
okay,
that? If I wasn't a snake keeper, how would you explain that? And say, oh, it's in the wild. They gonna think all snakes are wild.
okay, then we could say all dogs and cats were naturally from the wild. Same shit, just a different way you want to look at it, right? Because at the end of the day, when Jay, and I love Jay's channel, he does an amazing job, but at the same time, just like the ball pythons, not all the ball pythons do this, but majority of them, when you take their eggs, what happens? They strike at you because they don't want you messing with their eggs, right? So he does those videos to get like kind of reactions from people. But at the same time, no, dude, like reticulated Burmese, all these other pythons, rock pythons, like they are good for the hobby because it shows you if you could maintain your snake's diet, maintain its health and everything, it's a great snake to show off to people.
So
Like to get them
let
over
me
that
ask you
fear.
this. Let me ask you this. So do you think when we post a lot of these articles, we hurting ourselves?
No, because once again, that was okay. There's a total difference if you're like, let's just bring up Venomous for a second. Venom Wonderful was watching. I don't know if he's still here, but like he has the pygmy rattlesnake, so if he gets bit, like I understand like he messed up somewhere, but at the same time, it's like if you go mess with a cobra or a pygmy in the wild, yeah, it's most likely gonna try to defend itself to get away from you.
That's
Just
not
like
what I'm asking, VPO. That's not what I'm asking. What I'm
what do you
asking is when we see these negative articles, do you think they are hurting us? Do you think we should kind of police those a little better? When you see these
yeah,
articles of
yeah,
this get done, do you think we should police them and be like, hey, fuck that, don't post that shit? Because a lot of
yeah,
this shit can be used against us. You don't think a lawmaker sees this snake eating a fucking person? It's like, okay, now I want to keep the people that are voting for me safe. This fucking snake just ate a person. You don't think that you do you think that these negative articles hurt us?
yes, yes, they do. They hurt everybody that's a reptile keeper or breeder or hobbyist, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It I'm not gonna lie, that article fucked me up. When I seen that and I sent you the video. I don't know if you said you ain't on Instagram no more, but I sent you the video on Instagram and they literally cut this snake open and pulled a person out of it. And
I got
I
you.
was like, fuck, this shit ain't a myth no more. I've seen a snake literally eat a person.
But once again, that was a wild one that is looking for food.
Wild,
Compare,
small, child, I don't care. It's a snake and it ate somebody. Do you understand that?
but there's a difference. There is a difference,
I don't
though.
disagree.
But does it hurt us as a community of everybody that's in the reptiles? Yes. I mean, showing those videos, they're doing damage to us at the same time.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think that I love the real Tarzan. He has an insane following. He shares some crazy shit, man. That's one person I love to get on my podcast. I've talked to him. He has like over 20 something million followers. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
Dude, I'd be stunned. I'd be shocked. I'd be stuck in my I honestly, I don't know what to say about that one.
20 something million.
But
that's combined with all his platforms. He's absolutely killing it. He's definitely killing it. He shares some crazy shit, man. And I love going to his page and just seeing the
Very
shitty
good
channel.
question. Very good question. And you don't know this. We don't know the full true story. But what if? Perfect. Thank you, life fading ASMR. What if she was already dead? Is
Well,
but
yeah,
no
she
one
was
wants.
dead. A snake kills they
No,
prey
no, no,
before they
no.
swallow them.
Before the snake got her, who doesn't say she was like already deceased?
I don't know. That's a reach.
But that, oh man, big snakes do not hurt the hobby. Posting stupid shit hurts the hobby.
Live feeding said, if he's the real Tarzan, then I'm George of the Jungle. What's up, Venom, man? Long time no see, man. Good to see you in here, man. I love that we have this show, man. We talk about a lot of insane stuff, man. So let's jump to the next subject, man. Morph market, man. What's your take on it? Yes or no? Is it needed? Is it a necessity? What do you think?
I think it's needed, and here's why. Because you could pretty much get anything you want from there. So especially if you're gonna just be a hobbyist or a breeder, especially breeding, and you're like, I have that, and I want to get that, and make and pair them together to make this. Yeah, I think Dwarf Market's genius, and here's why: you could buy from anyone in the U.S. and get it shipped to you. They'll sending out Monday, it'll arrive Tuesday. If not, ship it out Wednesday, you'll get it Thursday. And to me, that's perfect. You That also helps other people that are breeding to get their snakes out there, because not everyone locally is going to be like, can I get a snake?
I'm like 50-50 on it. I think Morph Market is a great idea, but I don't think I'll introduce my son to it. And I'll tell you why. I think that this day and age, we are, so addicted to the here and now, gimme, gimme, gimme. I call it like fast food. We're addicted to fast.
Okay.
We're addicted to media. We want it instant, quick. We want it now. We won't take the time to wait. And what I mean by that is, for my son, I'm not introducing him to Morph Market. I would prefer to, I think it's good. I think Morph Market is good if you're a breeder. But if you're a buyer, I prefer the old fashioned way. I like getting out there and meeting people, shaking their hands. It's like, with my son, do I want to order a snake from Canova through Morph Market? Or do I want to drive to Chicago and shake Justin Kabelka's hand and buy that snake? You know what I mean?
I see, but not everyone's able to, be
Yeah,
able to travel like that.
but
I
you
see
get what
what
I'm
you're saying,
saying.
though.
I
Yes.
think it's, you know, it used to be a time where, you had to go to the store to get your groceries.
Right. By the way, Venom, yes, I really believe your dog's winning it again this year. But Cold Blooded makes a very good point. You can get scammed like he did, and Morph Market did nothing about it.
I think that, it used to be that for me, like I said, when it comes to Morph Market, I'm 50-50. I think that it's good if you're a breeder. It's an easy way to get your snakes across country, carefree. But as a consumer, I fucking hate it because, I feel like, a lot of us, it used to be where, you had to get out there and you had to meet people. I'm old fashioned. I used to have to go to Walmart to get my groceries. Now I can sit at my job and click a button and Walmart's dropping off the groceries, at my house. And I think that Morph Market just takes the personality out of it. Or I don't know if I'm trying to explain it right. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
No, I see what you're saying. I mean, so like the one time was Gray's Reptiles, and instead of having him ship it to me, I was like, I'd rather meet you in person. So I drove from
Yeah.
Reno, Nevada, all the way to San Diego, California, and picked up two pies, and he threw in a free pastel for me making the drive,
Yeah,
which was double head.
it's like I could easily order a snake from KY. I love KY constrictors. I could order a snake, or am I going to appreciate more saying, hey, KY, I'm about to go on this road trip. I'm going to meet you. I'm going to come pick up a snake. We're going to hang out. I think that, for instance, or shout out to Kurtwood. Kurtwood did it with Big D's pythons, I think. Or they'll meet, they'll get a snake. And I think that is just so much more personable. And I think that Morph Market is kind of taking that out of our hobby, man. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't think that they'll go anywhere, but I don't know. I'm gonna give them a couple years to see where they are.
Okay. I mean, I like the idea of Morph Market. I think it's amazing. It's great. And But at the same time, I mean, cold-blooded, like you're saying.
I got to interrupt. You said you like Morph Market. Have you ever bought a snake off of Morph Market?
Yes and no. Yes,
no,
because
this is no in there. No, yes or no.
I would have to say no then because I drove 2 grays to go get it. But yes, I would buy from Morph Market because I'm not going to drive. Let's just say I bought a snake from Heather. I'm not going to drive from Reno to New York. You know what I'm saying? Like that's too far of a drive for me.
Why not? Why not though? That's an experience.
Let's see. Work reasons, mostly work. That would be the main thing. And I get paid decent, so or better than most people in this what I do. So I can't.
So technically, you haven't even bought a snake off of Morph Market.
No,
I have. I've bought snakes off Morph Market. But see, when I use Morph Market, and I know this might sound shitty, cold-blooded experiences, it scares me. So I'm only going to reptile breeders that I know. Like if I don't know you, like for instance, the person that I bought a snake from is Phoenix Reptiles. He's been on my podcast, one of the fucking biggest breeders in Texas. So I know him. I know he's fucking huge. You know, he's a big dog in the green tree python game, big dog in the short tail python game. He's a big dog. I know you. I feel like I could fucking find you if you scan me. But if I look on there and I don't know your fucking name, I'm not buying nothing from you. Are you kidding me?
See, that's where you look at something and you don't like. You're like, oh, I like that, but I don't know who this person is. Look them up. Find out who they are. See if they have a YouTube. Find out their IG. And from there, then you would know if it's legit or not. You have to do some kind of research and not just go and do. You know?
Do you ever see yourself making a Morph Market for yourself?
I say not for the next like 4 or 5 years now.
4 or 5 years, BPL? That's a long time.
First, I only had one clutch this year. I'm looking for my probably gonna try to shoot for 2 or 3 next year.
Man, I don't know about Morph Market, man. I think it'll be good if I ever get into breeding, but I don't know. But let's talk about new snakes, man. You got any new snakes? Nothing new yet?
Nope.
I ended up getting a new snake, man. But I'm scared of it, dog.
And what'd you get?
You're gonna laugh at me. And everybody in the fucking comments is gonna laugh, but I'm not. Should I tell you? So I sold one of my snakes and I ended up buying, don't laugh, all right? I ended up buying a hog nose, but this motherfucker is huge. Not a hog nose, a Kenyan sand boa.
Okay.
Do you know why I'm scared of it?
Why?
Its bite is insane. Okay, so it's fat like a ball python. They don't look like, they look skinny, but I have an adult one. I bought an adult one. So Kenyan sand boas spend 90% of their time buried. And in order to get it out, you have to move the bedding around, right? Every time I move the bedding, this motherfucker bites me, dog.
And that's the one that you made the video and he tried to get you instead of the rodent?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Dude,
like,
honestly,
I'm to this point. Hey, BPL, I'm this point of this close to fucking selling it. And it's not the fact that I'm scared of getting bit, but these bites actually hurt, bro.
Once again, okay, let me ask you this. Would you rather get bit by that or a dog?
I don't want to get bit by nothing, BPL. That's a silly question. Nothing.
No, that's a legit question.
Oh no, dog. I got a new snake and I'm scared of it. I'm pretty close to selling it, man. It's like no, let me tell you why. If I get bit, I'd rather see it coming. And I think it hurts worse because I don't see it coming. It's literally buried under the substrate, and every time I move it, it fucking bites me, bro.
It bites you, or you get able to back up and it doesn't?
No, it bites me every time. When I try to take that snake out of its enclosure to clean its cage, it bites me every fucking time, dog.
Then what you need to do, in my personal opinion, is hold that snake a lot more often.
I try to hold it every day.
And every time it just strikes at you?
Every time I move, only when I move the substrate. When it's in my hands, it's calm. But like I said, Kenyan sand boas spend 90% of their time buried. Every once in a blue moon, I see his face outside of the substrate. But 90% of the time, I don't see the snake. So if you want a snake that you see, a Kenyan sand boa is not it because it's buried 90% of its life. So when I move the substrate to try to get it out, it bites my hand every time. And I don't want to use the hook because I'm scared I'm going to scrape it or, hit it in his face or poke his eye. You know what I mean? You just don't want to, I don't want to hurt it.
Correct. I mean, I don't use hooks. I only got the ball pythons. If they bite me, they bite me. If they don't, they don't.
Hey, Cold-Blooded Monster, shout out to Corey, man. Toothless Reptiles. Corey's a big dog in the game, man. Big dog. I think he's on Instagram. He's at like 250,000 followers. So he's been breeding monitors for years. So glad you was able to get those monitors from him, man. So what's been going on with your other podcast, BPL, man? People have been asking me.
Haven't been able to do it.
Oh yeah, I've been kind of busy.
Yeah. We'll run it. So here's something I want to talk about, okay? And it actually, and you guys could say, "Oh, what a little girl" or whatever, but I actually shed a few tears during that movie, man.
Oh, the Dave Kaufman movie?
It actually brought tears to my eyes.
I'm mad that you didn't even know about it.
Especially when he went to the black market or the voodoo market, whatever you want to, but the skin trade itself is so depressing, in my opinion. It broke my fucking heart, bro. That shit really fucked with me. And honestly, I'm with Dave Kaufman on, okay, we have the hidden art. Until we all unite together, regardless of if we're doing live feedings or if we're using cages or like, glass fucking enclosures to rackings to tubs, whatever, it doesn't matter. Until we come together fully as a united community, we have a thing, like he said, called the hidden arc, right? So with that being, what's up, TNT? With that being said, we all need to ban or join forces and stop the skin trade, because that is the worst thing. They're killing animals, and not just snakes, but all animals for no fucking reason. Like, remember the part of the movie and the guy was like, "Oh, they all died at natural causes." Dave Kaufman was all bullshit. Exactly. Dude, that is because they're not exporting as much ball pythons as they were back then. Now they're just killing them just to sell the skin. And that right there is disgraceful. I think it's fucked up, and we should all come together to stop that shit. Because until we don't, it's never going to happen. And how do you stop it is don't buy through anyone that is in the skin trade and let it suffer and let the business drown. Like Dave Kaufman said in that movie, if I buy these 6 Tegu or Savannah monitors, they're just going to go replenish them and get 30 more. Like, that is fucked up.
That movie got to you, man?
Yeah, it pissed me off, brought some tears to my eyes, but it also made me happy because of the village that actually worshiped the ball pythons like they were gods or are gods to them. To me, when he was like, people, this is going to be a new trend in the thing. No, I'm not going to go cut my face, but here's a new tattoo that I'm about to go get. I want to get heat pits across my fucking side of my jaws. And yeah, I want to make sure, dude, I fucking would love to live in that village where they worship ball pythons. Fuck yeah.
You know what? Do you see, and we'll talk about that next. Let's talk about the movie for a second. I don't know about the skin. Like, how do you stop the skin trade, man? Like, wouldn't it stop if we bought more ball pythons from them?
No, because then once again, like he's saying, if they export it, yeah, they make money and then they keep them alive. But there's so many people that are going down in the exporting business over there that they're now going in the skin trade business, and that's really messed up.
No, but see, that shows where the market's going, because they were this, and give me an idea. What do you think about this? That shows what the ball python market is. They were making money when they were exporting them, but they're not exporting as much So they're going to a different way of skinning and selling the ball python skins. Does that mean that the ball python market in a couple years in America might go down? Because
No,
we're not exporting as many.
honestly, no, because here's why. It's only in that section where there's other places in the world that are doing skin trade, of course, but like in that section, a lot of them were, like he was saying in the movie, they were exporting. Once they couldn't export because businesses were going down, they started the skin trade. A lot of them did. So now you got, I'm going to say this very bluntly, you got dumbass motherfucking celebrities that want to be like, that would make a nice goddamn belt or jacket or blah, blah boots or blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. I'm over that shit. Get over the fucking like, oh, that would be a nice purse. You would be a fucking nice goddamn lampshade. But you don't see me supporting goddamn fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, do you?
But see, that's the thing, though. That's what I'm saying. I think that the ball, and this is just me. I don't know how other experts feel, but I think that the ball python market is going down, and I'll tell you why. They're not exporting as many because we don't have to export them. We have them here already, and we're breeding our own. So I think that eventually we won't even be exporting them no more. I think that we'll just be making them on what we got over here.
I agree, but there's some, even so there was that one, okay, it was like towards the end, it was a beautiful, it wasn't normal though, it had that nice long like dorsal like striping towards the end of the tail. The pattern was nice and like different. It had lots of flames or blushing, whatever you want to call it. And dude, there's other, I believe in my own opinion, and you guys hopefully agree with this that are watching, there's guaranteed. How do you think some, like, let's bring up Brian Barczyk. He brung up some, we call them dingers that get exported, right? And he brung up some of the new recessives. There's other shit out there, and dude, that hasn't been discovered. But yet there's the skin trade that is fucking it all up, and we need to come together, no matter what state, city you live in, to stop it. And how you stop it is not stopping everybody from going through that shit. But instead, got to be blunt about this. We would rather argue in the community about who's doing what. Like, oh, you're a life eater. I'm not going to support you. Oh, you keep your snakes in this kind of like substrate, or you have glass or whatever. Like that's the petty shit. Look at the real abuse of the animal that is happening across the other side of the fucking world. If we love them as much as we say we do, let's band fucking together and get this shit going.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that it's a touchy subject.
Like he said, it's kind of hard to stop something in Africa when it's a whole nother country or continent and all that. So I get it.
I enjoyed that movie. Did you see that part where he was talking about the ASFs? He disagreed with us. I remember you were telling me that I don't know if you watched that movie. If you remember,
yeah.
He talked about ASFs. He was like, they don't eat these shits in the wild. He was like, don't believe that. He was like, don't believe that shit. Did you see that?
Yeah. There is no ASFs. There's the word lab rats in Africa. That's all it was. And honestly, they're eating ground squirrels, any kind of rodent they find, and some of them, some people might hate this. If you're having a hard time feeding your snake and it's not eating, offer it a chick, he said. What's wrong with that? And I watched the movie twice.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Over here in the States, we praise the ASFs. But do you think he went to Africa and he said they're not eating ASFs in the wild? So it was like kind of a catch-22. I was like, oh, so ASFs ain't really that good, and because this fucking Dave Kaufman, he's a big dog in the game. So I don't know. It was a great movie. You said you ended up watching it twice.
Fucking A, I might watch it a third time, dude. I love that movie. There's sad parts in it. Like, it's like a real movie, dude. It made me happy. It made me sad. It made me cry. It made me enjoy what I have. And we have a hidden arc that we all need to band together, because eventually, like he said, it will come so bad in the skin trade that they will eventually wipe out the population over there, right? So with that being said, we will become the place where the ball pythons are located. And it's up to us to stick together.
I was telling, like I was telling Venom, I think that's really with any animal. It's time right now to not necessarily, make your own art. fuck what these lawmakers are talking about. Get two of everything that you want. If you want to keep it, get it, breed it yourself.
Yeah.
Start an underground market, because at the end of the day, these lawmakers are gonna do what they want, and it is what it is. Shout out to Cold Blooded. He said he watched it about 4 times.
Yeah.
I watched it once. I might watch it again, but I don't know. I want to make my own movie. I need to steal Dave Kaufman swag, make a movie. And
What's up, Solo? Yeah.
So we're talking. Hey, what's up, Solo? What's up, TNT? What's up, everybody, man? Do you think since we're talking about ball pythons, man, and I'm gonna give you a homework assignment. Do you think? Yeah. Do you think right now breeding ball pythons is profitable? And we got breeders in the chat right now. Like, shout out to TNT. Do you think it's profitable?
Yes.
And I mean with housing, feeding, selling. Why?
Okay. Let me just say this. Even if you can't sell the babies, right? Once again, it doesn't come down to how much you make off the snakes. That's where that's where a lot of people are getting fucked up. Like, I want to bring up a name that I've had on one of my shows before. Let's talk about Miguel. He's a breeder. He has some badass shit over there, but it's not about how much money you fucking make. It's about the love that you want to do with the animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter if you're like, you know what, I only made $2,000 all year. You're having fun with what you fucking love to do.
But see, that's not answering my question. My question was, if I wanted to jump into this game, become a new breeder, do you think that it's profits to be made?
Well, then you better go. You better become the next Billy and have a warehouse full of fucking reptiles and ball pythons and like, I got everything pretty much. Like,
you still didn't answer my question.
I'm telling you now, because yes, you have to have. Okay.
So you think it is? So yes.
Yes.
All right. Now, why do you think that is good? Because so you think it's still room to make money? Okay. I don't know.
And here's why. You shouldn't rely. Once again, I told you the idea of Morph Market and how I feel about it. I like the idea, but at the same time, you shouldn't rely off Morph Market or Facebook or IG to sell your snakes. You should be the one making the initiative to going to fucking schools, showing your neighbors, going around and be like, yo, I have snakes. I would like people to see them, hold them, get, used to it, and make new reptile keepers. And eventually, we could do that, yeah, I mean, then there's no profit in it because everyone's going to become a reptile breeder, but we're the hidden arc. We're going to have the last of the ball pythons in Europe, America, Canada, Mexico, and wherever else you want to say they keep them. But like, yes, there's profit in it, but no, eventually the profit will I feel, die off because we're going to keep making new breeders and new reptile. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
I think that, I would love to breed reptiles, but for me, I have to know that I'm going to be profitable with it. And it just scares me to see so many people breeding ball pythons. Like, I'll give you an example. If somebody's in the chat right now, go to Morph Market and look at their seller list. Tell me how many names is on that seller list. Matter of fact, that'll be the homework assignment. I want you next week, I'm going to ask you how many breeders is on Morph Market. And I want you to tell me. And it's just like, when you see all these names, it's like, dude, it kind of makes me think like, well, god damn, so many people are selling them. It's how do you compete in that? Unless you got like top tier animals, it's hard to compete.
Once again, it's your job to make the initiative locally and online to make it worldwide to do what you want to do. But if you only rely on Morph Market and IG and Facebook, it's not. In my personal opinion, it's not going to be that profitable.
When I start breeding, can I use your name, Ball Python Loves?
Sure.
I love it, man. Well, this has been an amazing episode. I'm at work. I'd love to go a little longer. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I just want to thank y'all all for coming, man. Shout out to Venom, man. I'm praying for you, man. Y'all know you're down there in Georgia and y'all are getting hit hard, man. And speaking of that, before we end, we were talking about the big snakes. I think that a lot of our problems came from the big snakes. If you look at Florida, their invasive species is what? Burmese pythons. If we would have, I think that if we probably would have focused a little harder You know, I think that if we would have focused a little harder, and it's just my opinion, nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's just a talk show, a place where we come, we hang out, we talk about stuff that's going on. I think that if we would have been a little more vigilant in Florida when shit started hitting the fan, when you know, you look at the big snakes, their biggest problem is what? Burmese pythons. These are fucking huge snakes. I think that they should have monitored these bigger snakes a little more, you know, tougher, a little more hard. I don't know if I'm like saying it right. I think that, you know, having a ball python is one thing, but a ball python and a reticulated python, a Burmese python, it's just two totally different things. It's not everybody is responsible enough to have a snake that's 20 feet long. So I think that, you know, I think that big snakes have hurt us and they're continuing to hurt us. But that's just my opinion.
I'll give my opinion. It's Hollywood making the movie like Anaconda, Snakes on Planes. It's shit like that that give those snakes, even that, you know, I'm just saying, it's just those types of movies that hurt us, because in reality, that lady got eaten in Indonesia. Okay, that was a wild big snake.
But explain Florida. How do you explain in Florida?
When it comes to Florida, they're invasive, right? So meaning they're not naturally from there. It's, once again, you got to take the good with the bad. So when it comes with the bad, we got bad reptile breeders and keepers that thought they were going to keep a snake, and they're like, oh shit, this thing's actually getting too big. I'm scared. I'm going to release it in the fucking Everglades.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I think that big snakes do hurt us, especially when they're not given to responsible people. I think that, you know, I tell my wife this a lot, and I don't know if she's watching, but, you know, when it comes to my son, I think that certain problems, you know, we need to take care of them before they happen. I don't know if that makes sense. You know,
yeah.
I know this snake is 20 foot. You know, I don't care who you are. I'm not selling it to you. The only way you could, if I was a retic breeder, if I was a Burmese breeder, the only way I'm selling you a fucking snake, and people probably gonna hate this, you need to have some kind of training. Show me where you got hours of training, some kind of license, something that shows me that you're responsible. I think that the like I said, at the end of the day, I think the bigger snakes down in Florida, they fucked us. And I think the bigger snakes are continuing to fuck us. And I think that the laws are still going to keep coming because of the bigger snakes. Because right now, they're not banning corn snakes. They're not banning ball pythons. They're going for fucking big snakes. They're going for big shit. At the end of the day, they're going for big shit and tegus and big motherfucker. You know, a leopard gecko is a lot different. A leopard gecko, you know, is a lot different than a fucking tegu. They're going for they're going for animals that are fucking enormous.
Right, but it's bad breeders or keepers, and I can't remember his name. And tell me his name. And this is one person I will never support. I can't remember his name, so I'll bring up a video. It throws in a tegu with a leopard gecko.
Prince Predator Pets.
That is somebody that does not belong in the fucking reptile community. That is somebody that you should ban. And another person, before we even end this, that we should stop fucking, if you guys support him, cool, I'm not going to hate you, but stop supporting fucking Nerd when he's a piece of shit, asshole, fucking douchebag.
Yeah. I think that, like I said, you know, we're getting ready to end it, but at the end of the day, man, it was a great show. We talked about Morph Market. Yeah. We talked about, you know, PetSmart, bigger snakes, you know, just everything, you know, in a nutshell. You know, I think that we have a fun place to come and talk about just what's going on in the reptile world. This is an awesome show, man. Everybody that showed up, I love y'all. I got to get back to work because I'm very busy. But thank you guys for showing up, man. As always, BPL. Much love to you, man. I'll let you take it away, brother.
All right, everybody. Well, that's Darius Reptiles. Make sure that you guys are subscribed. He has all the big guys. I've had some big guys too. But until next time, I'm Ball Python Love. Got that fucking shit. Peace the fuck out, everyone. Much love.